Hey my dear friends, do you love drinking tea? Of course, but how we are going to enjoy and appreciate it? Yes, to understand the tea's quality. And to understand the tea's quality is to evaluate the tea. And today is a lesson. Lesson 17, tea evaluation and tasting. Because we have 33 lessons while only 20 days. So we require you especially to watch this lesson in advance so we could enjoy tasting the tea or evaluating the tea almost every day. Okay? And this lesson usually refers to this professional book and my personal experience, of course, which is quite trustable. And for this lesson, we are going to understand the preparation, steeping water, taste and evaluation, and the last part, which is also very important, sensory terminologies. First, usually, to evaluate the tea, we need to choose the right place. The room should be bright and spacious. Usually, yes, some LED lights should be okay, but avoid the direct sunlight. Some diffused light, that's okay, and even perfect. To really understand the tea's quality and its flavor, we cannot do this either too cold nor too hot. Usually, choose a temperature around 22. Somewhere when it's too cold or it's too hot, of course, we are going to use the AC. And meanwhile, or just humid is around 25%. Before taking the course, we need to avoid use some strong perfumes, better not use any perfume, or wear anything which smells very strongly. And before tasting the tea, we should also avoid eating something pungent, because that will influence or take over the flavor of the tea. And meanwhile, we should prepare those utensils. You can see here, yeah, they look quite professional. We have the plate, the tasting cups, tasting bowl, even the weigh machine, and the kettle, of course. This one is a timer. So, of course, we can definitely use the phone to replace the timer. And for this weigh machine, usually in our daily families, we have this kind of weigh machine. That's okay. That's okay. Yes. And of course, those are quite professional utensils. I believe that most of us are beginners, or if you do not have those stuff, don't worry. As long as we have this white ceramic 盖碗, like I have here, yes, and yes, this fair mark, that's okay, that's okay. So, to evaluate the tea, of course, we need the water. Do you think which water should be the best one for evaluating? The mineral waters? Of course not, because to evaluate the tea is to really know the true flavor, true quality of the tea. In that case, we should not either enhance the quality or dilute the flavor. So usually choose a natural soft water with TDS of around 30 to 50 milligrams of liter, and the pH value should equals around 7, and better freshly boiled water. Before we start to make the evaluation, then we boil the water. Otherwise, the water will be unfresh, or the water temperature will drop. So that will also influence to know the quality. You see, here I present you lots of bottles. Do you think they are the good one for evaluating? If not, why? And while after we get to know the quality, and do you think that we should choose those water? And why? Yes. This is a question for you. And after that, of course, we are going to start evaluating. Usually, most of the teas, we should choose the tea sample based on the container of this cup or the tasting cup. So the ratio is usually 1 to 50, which means that for 150 or 250 cc container, we should weigh either 3 grams or 5 grams. While we sample the tea, we should mix all the samples and then use our 3 fingers to take the sample, then gradually put the tea on the holder to weigh 3 or 5 grams. And be aware that the sample you take should be representative, so that can indicate the true quality of the whole batch. Yes. And here, we have 6 types of teas, even for oolong tea, which is very complicated. Either they're loose tea or compressed with such beads. We also have the dark tea, which are usually compressed cakes. So, although here are some professional recommendation for 5 or 3 grams. However, for such very tight tea, we would also recommend you can consider about the ratio 1 to 22. Yes, for example, 150, usually we can weigh 7.5 grams, that's okay. And here you see, regarding the steeping time, we present you 3 groups of the steeping time. And why? Usually the brewing 2, you see, those time is the professional steeping time. But however, imagine most of our students, when like before, they felt that by steeping the tea such long, they can only enjoy the bitterness, or maybe not enjoy. And in that case, we really don't know about the quality. Actually, to steeping the tea quite long is to amplify its possible weakness. That's why I often suggest that if you're going to buy the tea in some tea house, yes, you would request the tea owner to steep the tea quite long, so you know the tea if it's real good or might be poor quality. Yes, except for green tea, which steep 4 minutes, or the oolong tea 6 minutes. Usually most of teas requires steeping time with 5 minutes. However, for our experience, we want to enjoy the tea because the tea can be easily get the flavor in the first brewing. So we can just steep the tea 10 seconds, then we can enjoy its flavor, even it's light. So after that, then we would recommend either 5 or 6 minutes for all the teas. Yes. And how about brewing 3? 30 seconds. Why? I especially designed the 30 seconds here. Because although those professors, they think that steeping the tea quite long, they could really know about the consistency, the quality of freshness. I don't think so. So only if the tea being steeped such long, then we steep the tea another 30 seconds, we may know how good, how last long the quality it is. For example, if the tea is steeped 5 minutes, then the third time for 30 seconds, it still has some flavor and we can enjoy the body, which means that the fresh leaves is quite good, or the processing is wonderful, is well processed. However, if some tea after being steeped so long, then for the third brewing when 30 seconds, then it tastes so watery or plain or light means the material is not good enough. See, that's why the brewing 1 wins 10 seconds and the brewing 3 wins 30 seconds, which are all necessary. That's why we combine the professional method and the very practical and useful method. So we don't have to really only suffer the bitterness or astringency. Yes. And after that, of course, the last part is to understand the quality, know how to use the right words to describe the quality. During our class, we are going to refer to the official, those terminologies, and also our 4 A's, tasting and evaluation methods, related terms. For this part, only if we have the class and in the classroom, we would really experience and understand. That is the part we are going to learn during our lessons. Okay. So you can see that why we wanted to evaluate the tea, because we want to know the quality. Only if we know the quality, we are going to adjust brewing method and also to recommend the right tea to the right person. And sometimes we also know how to recommend the tea to the right season, right timing, or to the right body constitution. Especially now we talk about tea sommelier. Our course is tea sommelier. Only if we know the quality. So we know the texture, the flavor, and something about the tea. In that case, we know how to recommend the food pair. Therefore, you know how important it is to be a tea taster. Of course, we taste the tea and know the quality is to appreciate the tea. That's why to taste the tea is very important. I hope that you can enjoy and mastering the tasting skills, and at the end, you are going to appreciate the tea. What do you think? This is Mabel. See you very soon in our classroom.